Okay, so we are going to be working on probability and chance investigations. So, first of all, let's talk about what probability is. The idea of probability is showing how likely an event is going to happen. So it's always it's measured as a number between 0 and 1. So if we had a number line here, okay, obviously goes forever on either side, but in this case, we're only interested between 0 and 1. All right. If the probability is 0, it is definitely not going to happen. All right? And if the probability is 1, it's definitely going to happen. Is that spelled correctly? I don't know. Doesn't matter for our purposes. Now, of course, most things are definitely going to happen or not going to happen. Not really true. Everything's in the middle, right? So, if it's equally likely to happen or not happen, of course, it's got a probability of a half, or 0.5, or 50%. Okay, so things over here are more likely to happen, probably going to happen. Things over here are very unlikely to happen, but they might happen. Okay, so what's the probability? Think in your head. 0 or 1. Just give you two choices, 0 or 1. What's the probability that I'm about to teach you more about probability? Yeah, it would be 1, right? Versus what's the probability that I'm about to grow wings and fly around the room? That would be 0. I'm not going to grow wings. I'd like to, but it's not going to happen. All right? So another way to think about probability is the idea that it is... How that happened? Looks like I can't erase like that. Let's erase that. Okay. Another way to think of it, it's a fraction, it's the number, this means number, of times the desired outcome could happen over the total number of possible outcomes. Okay? So we'll talk about what that means. So it's a fraction, the number of times the desired outcome could happen over the total number of possible outcomes. Okay? So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to give a couple examples. The most obvious being, if we had a coin. Obviously a coin has two sides, right? One heads, one tails. No. Tails. There we go. Right? So, if I said, what is the probability of flipping the coin and getting heads? Okay. How many heads are there? There's 1. And how many total sides are there? There's 2. Right? Nice and easy. Versus a die, singular for dice, right? If we had a die is a 6-sided cube with different numbers on it, usually numbered 1 through 6 in dots, right? Boop, boop. Okay, if I roll the die, okay, what is the probability of rolling a 5? Okay, well, How many sides of the 6 have the number 5 up on them? Just one. Of those 6 sides, how many possible sides are there? There's 6, right? So the probability of rolling a 5, just like the probability of rolling a 1, is 1 over 6. Okay? Finally, there's one other example that comes up a lot in the IB exam, and that is, say, a spinner. So perhaps we have a circle, maybe with 3 regions in this case: red, blue, and green, right? And it's got this spinner. Okay, so I can flick the spinner and it goes round and around and around and around, and it slows down. Where is it going to stop? Nobody knows. Right? So what's the probability of getting, what's the probability of getting a green? Obviously there's only one green, and there are 3 possibilities, right? Very simple. So let's practice a little bit. Now during the practice, I want you to pause the video and do the problem before you continue the video to see what the answer is. Alright, 2 quick practice problems. So, what's the probability of rolling a 2 on a normal die? Okay. What's the probability of getting that 2 actually on the top? So go ahead and pause the video and do the problem. Okay, did you get, there's only 1 2 out of a possible 6 sides, so it's 1 over 6, right? And then secondly, a little bit tougher one, what's the probability, same die, 6 sides, okay? What's the probability of not rolling a 3? Go ahead and pause the video and figure out the probability of not rolling a 3. Okay? So, how many sides are not a 3? There's 5 sides that are not a 3. How many sides are there total? 6. So it's 5 over 6. Alrighty, how'd you do? Did you alright? I think that's it for us. Good job.